Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we're going to finish up the CLS55. I'm super excited to take this car out on a test drive. All we have to do is basically button up everything, put the aero kit back on, and really just take this car out for a drive. Honestly, I loved working on this car. I learned so much tearing apart the CLS550 and putting all the modernized parts in the CLS55. It was honestly so much fun, but I'm not done with this car. Although in the end of this video, the car is done, it's blue, everything is painted. I do plan on redoing it very soon. So with that out of the way, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss out what I have planned for the CLS. Let's go ahead and put everything back into this engine bay and finish up the job. Stay tuned. So Dad finally got the ball joint out. That's really hot. You could feel the heat from here. Only took so much critical thinking because that thing was stuck on there. You think that was from day one?
Yeah.
Get your ball joints. How often should people do their ball joints?
Whenever it's bad. I'm gonna heat it up first and then bring the one that I put in freezer last night and then put it in and see if we can do it as fast as possible, you know,
before it heats up.
So yeah,
but if it's been in there overnight,
that one I don't need it, but let me heat it up first.
2 minutes later, a new ball joint's in, and I promise you this will take, we'll have it done before 3. We'll have a new ball joint in there before 3 o'clock. Shouldn't have that much plate in it.
If this pops out, the car is gonna be out of control. Can hit anything.
So it's done now.
It's done.
All right, perfect. Let's go ahead, put this onto the car. We'll put this back onto the car, and then after that we'll start working on the front bumper. Okay, explain everything that happened last night.
Okay, last night we were heating the car, preparing for some trips. but when the engine got hot, the upper radiator hose slid out. Why? Because the power steering was leaking and the oil damaged the hose. So now we gotta change the hose, but I cannot get it until Monday. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a clamp I prepared. I'm gonna take the old clamp off and change it. Hopefully it's gonna work. There's a spot I cannot put the other side of my tool. It's really a strong clamp. Okay. Oh man, this thing is really brittle. It is so bad, really in pieces. So I cannot put another hose around it. So this piece comes in one unit with the hoses together. So the coupling, this is important too. This is good in one piece. Yes, you see how big it became? This part, this one, the oil eats the rubber, and it was damaged by that.
That's the motor mount right there.
The only thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove my steering a little bit to take the mounts out of there, because there is no other way. All right, so I opened already, removed the bolts from the motor mount right there. This is the heat shield. Okay, I got it. So it's a 16mm bolt. It's a little bit hard to remove it. I will clean up the threads, maybe just spray a little bit of WD-40. Should work. So this part is out too. I took already off that one. Now I'm gonna remove the bottom parts, bottom bolts from the motor mount, which is right there. Now they're loose. So I would put the jack here under the crankcase with a piece of block of wood, not to damage it, and put it up, see what happens. I put the engine up a little bit, like you see here, but unfortunately I cannot take the motor mounts out. It's not enough room. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove these 4 bolts, see if I could move the steering rack a little bit out and hang it there so I can take it out easier. That's the only way. I removed the plate here, this one, 4 bolts only, and it is easier now. Now the steering rack is moving, so I can easily take the motor mount out. I need both my hands. I'm gonna put this somewhere. Alright, one, both motor mounts are out. I'm gonna take the cover off and see how bad it is. Wow, it is collapsed already here. I don't know if it could. So let's compare it with the new one. This is how bad it is. Like you see, it's almost halfway down. If you compare it, see how much. Wow. And it is already damaged here. This is for the left side. Probably a lot of oil was on it, so that's why. And this is the right side. The right side is collapsed too, but it probably does not come off. Okay, it doesn't come off. It's already in bad shape. So left and right, they are both the same. We can use. If you see here how bad it is, and broken. I'm gonna install the motor mounts, and later on I'm gonna put the screws, and hopefully it doesn't give me any trouble. But before that, I'm gonna make a mark, which is right here, 90 degrees. Want to know where it sits exactly. So practically this supposed to go by the engine mount area, and we don't want to miss it. It's supposed to go set correctly, and I make 90 degrees, so at least this is toward the front of the engine. So let's go. See there, the little notch? I don't know if you can see that. That's not an easy job now. Put it back in. The motor mounts are in, and I'm gonna install the heat shields now. And I also aligned it. Has to be aligned, which is perfectly fine. I don't know if you can see that. Now I need to put the shield and the bolt and tie them down. So I made a little mark where the shield's supposed to go, like here. So where is it? Right there. All right. Motor mounts are installed. Looks good. There is no gap here. Practically a small gap. It's a large gap between the engine and the subframe. That's a good sign. Whenever the engine mounts are broken, there's tiny little gap between the engine and the subframe, so that's why they want to tell you that the engine mounts are bad. They need to be replaced. So now I'm going to install the steering rack and that plate which is holding it. Alright, it's out. It's already broken. Let's see here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Put the bottom bolts. Ready? Done.
It's a 2-minute and 30-second job. So here is the new radiator hose. It's Monday, by the way. When this blew, it was Friday. So now that it's here, we're gonna put it in, like, same part number as a E-Class. That's because the E55s and the CLS55s share the same exact everything, basically, as far as their drivetrain goes. That must have been swollen too. So this one's the older one. You could see the difference in how much this one has swollen up compared to this one. Just this ring alone over here, and then this upper portion too. So all the coolant's gonna come out.
Not all of it, just a little bit.
It's not. Can you see it? I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, when it builds pressure, pop this thing out. Installation is much easier.
Oh, that goes into a socket.
Let's try it now.
throttle out or something. That is crazy. And that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the support throughout this build. Doesn't the car look fantastic? I mean, that color combination is absolutely beautiful. The next video is going to be a 1-year review of owning the CLS55. I haven't really done much to it since we finished the car, and I do plan on changing up a lot of things. I will revisit that color combination soon in another car. But as far as this car goes, I'm going to rewrap it. I'm going to fix the aero kit because a lot of the paint started to fade and it just didn't look good. It just didn't age well for the past 10 months of owning this car and having it sit out in the sun. Also, the wrap, it's really starting to peel a lot. You guys will see it in the next video, so make sure you subscribe because you're not going to want to miss out what I do have planned next, because we're going to be modifying the SL and we're going to be pushing about 550 to 600 at the wheels. But I think I've said enough. I'll see you guys in the next one.